Hi you all, it's Rosa with Deer Families, and I am here with Liam the buck. He just came by to get fruit, and next to him is Lana's son, and walking behind him is the young buck that just started coming by. But I wanted to do a special story and video on Liam because he's a remarkable buck in this neighborhood. So I first met him shortly after I moved in. I live on a corner lot and I have a lot of deer walking by my property. And when I moved in, the nursing moms would come to my door and request fruit to get extra nutrition when they were nursing. And then as I was feeding them, I would see Liam walking past them in my yard and behind them with a group of bucks following him. He has some of the biggest antlers in my neighborhood, and he looks older. His coat looks a little older. So I believe he's one of the older bucks, and he is definitely the leader of the younger bucks that live around here. When it was not in rut, you would see the bucks traveling together, and you could tell there was a hierarchy within their group and that he was the leader, as he would make gestures for them to follow him, and they would. And the story I wanted to share about him, which helped me to learn a lot about how these deer are organized, and to learn about bucks in general, is while the females would be feeding at my house on nutritious fruit when they were nursing, some of the younger bucks that was in his group would want to join the females in feeding time and get an apple as well. But Liam would lead them away from the food with gestures, and they would follow him. And he was teaching them to not take food from the nursing mothers. And all summer, I gave the female fruit when they would come to my door and ask for it. And not one time did he or the other buck stop by for fruit. It wasn't until nursing ended, up until recently, that he is coming by and asking for fruit. So I thought that was quite remarkable. Shows how the buck support the survival of these species, whitetail deer. And in particular, it shows that he is a noble leader of the other buck in this area. And he taught the young buck to support the nursing does. And I can tell he's respected by the does because Sharon's family, if they're ever around my property when Liam arrives, now that it's not nursing season, he comes by. Hi, Liam. He's looking right at us. Hi. If they're ever on the property, they give him space, and they move away from the patio and they let him snack. So you could tell Lana's son, he's still figuring things out. He came and wanted to snack with Liam, but he's a young little buck. There he is. Let's zoom on him. But yeah, all the other buck, they defer to him and they give him space, and you can tell that they respect him. And the does do the same. Hi, Liam. I think he thinks I might have another treat for him, but another apple or pear. So let me get it. Let's see where he goes. So he's older and he's not aggressive during this rut season like some of the younger buck. Well, see, the female aren't running from him like they do the younger buck during rut. He's doing a little aggressive moves, but when the younger buck come through, they aggressively chase these females, and the females are long gone. But see, he's still going after them. He's got a little limp on his left back knee. He's rubbing his antlers, and I think he might have arthritis in that back knee. So that used to be a tall angel trumpet young tree, and when rut started, he shortened it. He broke the tall trunk of it with his antlers. He does a lot of antler rubbing now that it's rut. Hi, buddy. But the tree is still alive, as you can see. It's just shorter, and it'll grow back. So I've read, there's quite a bit of articles about bucks destroying trees, but what I've noticed around here, it's in this community they do more tree pruning, which I appreciate because they get a lot of the branches. There he is. A lot of the low branches that make it difficult to move around. Now he's going after one of the does. I'd like to get a view, but I don't want to get in his way. So I don't know that I'm going to get a view. I'm going to stay by the wall. That'll keep me out of the way. Oh, they've moved on pretty quickly. Let's see if I can catch him down here. So he is a remarkable buck in this Central Texas neighborhood that when it's not in rut and the buck are traveling together, he is the leader of them, and I've observed him teaching them. And I think he has a very noble demeanor, and it's fun getting to know him and watch him. Well, they've moved on rather quickly. He must really be courting this family of doe that are just visiting me. I'm going to get to the bottom of this hill, and I'll be right back and see if we can get a view of them. When I got to the bottom of the hill, I noticed he had just chased Sharon's group of female deer around my house, and they ended up in the front yard. So I thought I'd get a little more footage of Liam on the camera and show you. As you can see, he's very, very strong. So the stiff back knee that he has, the left back knee that's stiff, it doesn't inhibit him. He's one of the bigger buck. When I see them traveling together, he's one of the biggest, if not the biggest. So he's very strong. And I don't know that that's arthritis causing the stiffness in his back knee. It could be an injury from a vehicle accident. There's a lot of vehicle accidents around here, and you can tell they've had some sort of leg injury from it. Or it could be from a lot of other things. It looks to me a little bit like a stiff knee from arthritis. But I don't know. So here he goes. He's moving on. He's in my side yard now. And Sharon's family was around my property, but they've kind of gotten out of the way. That's the pattern I've been observing is during rut, the female run from the male, and the male will trail them. And what I've observed in the summer when they're nursing their fawn, the male they let them focus on their fawn. They don't interfere with that, and they support them by letting them have all the food that people give them. Here's Shae. Shae is Sharon's daughter, and she just walked by. She's wanting a snack. She's coming up to me now, hoping to get an apple. So I think I'll cut her up an apple. Here she is. They ask by nodding their heads and pointing it to the ground. They ask for me to place food on the ground like that. So I'm going to go get her an apple. And I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I just chopped Shae up a carrot and an apple since she was asking for that. And when I came back, Liam has moved on. I don't see him over there anymore. He was in the side yard. I did see Shae with her baby and Lana's baby, her sister's baby. So today she's on babysitting duty, where yesterday Lana was. And I see that often, where one of the sisters will have both, which enables the other sister to either rest or go gather more diverse food. Everything I've read, and I have some links to articles in the description. Everything I've read, all the research studies on whitetail deer diets show they need a very diverse source of plants and fruit throughout the year to get the nutrients they need. So they are always on the move looking for food, diverse sources of food in the Central Texas neighborhood. And as the Central Texas area develops more and more, that becomes a challenge to these guys, but they're adapting very well. And they're finding the plants they need and getting the fruit from the people that have moved in. So Lana's arrived. I'm gonna go and chop up an apple and a carrot for her as well. So everybody, I was walking to go and grab a apple for Lana, and I noticed my little house rabbit, Ben, snuck into the garage. I didn't notice he had done that. And when I was getting the last apple for the deer for Shae, here's Lana waiting. But I thought he's gonna go inside. But I thought I would capture this moment and show, document what it's like when he's domesticated. He's litter box trained and he lives in the house. He's an 8-year-old rabbit, but I thought I'd share what it's like when wild animals and domesticated animals see each other. And they were very peaceful. He was looking at them peacefully. I think he might be a little scared of them because they're pretty big. Yeah, he just thumped. I'm going to help him get back inside. I'll be right back. Okay, I just got my bunny Ben back in the house. He was curious and wanted to check out the garage, but he's a house rabbit, so he had to go back inside. I keep him separate from the deer just because they carry bugs that, I'm just sitting down in front of these guys, they carry bugs that I don't want to get on my, I have 2 house rabbits, Abby, who's a Holland Lop, and Ben, who's a Holland Lop and Dutch mix. So they're real fun and they're very smart. They're litter box trained and very easy to care for. Anyway, back to the deer. Here's Lana and Shae. Shae came earlier today and it's been hanging out in my yard with her and her son and Lana's son, 2 5-month-old fawn, but Lana has joined her. Oh, so there Lana gestured to move away to her sister, which she knows her sister has been here much longer snacking, so I'm sure she wanted to have her snack. So and these deer, they're very observant of changes in the environment. Whenever I planted new plants, they knew which ones were new in my flower bed. Whenever I planted new plants in this flower bed, they knew which ones were new and they would go and taste test them or munch on them. So I just put chicken wire around the new ones to give them a chance to grow, and that's a real easy. It took me about an hour to get them covered, and that was real easy and allows for the plants, the new ones, to get bigger. I don't know if you could hear, she's calling out to her sister. She has a very cute voice. I don't know if you can hear it. Let's go see where they're going. I'm getting up really quickly. Let's go see. I think they might hang out in the lot next to my house today. There's an empty lot next to my house and they might be hanging out there today. So this is Shae. She was just calling out to her sister Lana, who went back here. So Shae is following me now to get more. But I just give them an apple and a pear and a carrot each day because I've got to keep my supply for tomorrow. And they also, they have other houses they go to for fruit. So I don't see Lana. Here's Shae still following. Did you hear her voice? She's calling out for her. That's what they do when they're calling out to each other. Can you hear that? And it sure looked to me like she was following her scent. Figuring out where her sister went by the scent. So it looked to me that her sister left for a little bit after eating, and Shae was finding her by her scent and also calling to her. I'm sorry, I took a misstep there, but I wonder if they're in my neighbor's yard now. So across the street from me is another empty lot that they live in. And they often get fruit from this neighbor. They feed them apples. So it looks like Lana went into the other empty lot they live in, and Shae is gonna join her in there. So I'll end this video now. It is Monday, October 26th here in Central Texas with deer families. Hope you all have a great day wherever you all are. Bye-bye.